Hello folks, this is Hitmanvondoom and I'm actually doing a haul video. It feels like it's been forever. But this is kind of a side thing I was doing instead of getting other issues. And what I was doing is getting all the Marvel 25th anniversary issues. And when you see this cover, you'll see the theme to it. You'll see a theme to the cover, although I doubt this little lightning bolt there is part of it. But you'll kind of see a theme here that the covers are similar like this, and I kind of thought it would be pretty cool if I were to get all of the Marvel 25th anniversary covers, because they did this 1 month, I believe it was November, in 1986. 1986, they did it in November. All the covers were released like this, and I thought it would be really awesome if I tried to get them. I tracked all of these down and get them, and folks, it was not easy. It was not easy trying to track them down, and I didn't want to make a video until I got them all. I do have other things to show, but this is finally a haul video. Finally something to show. So, as you can see, this is Marvel Age number 44. And this is just what you would call a magazine. As it says up on the top, news magazine. That's pretty much what this is. It's nothing special at all. You know, it's just a magazine. So, anyway, and the next one, well, I think you might be able to guess, if I play this, what the next issue that was released was. Right, folks, listen up. You can guess what the next one is. Yep, folks, if you heard that and if my webcam picked it up, the next one I got was Masters of the Universe, number 4 from Marvel Comics. Again, another one. The issue itself is pretty solid, I think. Nice Skeletor action. Hordak, I don't know why Hordak's on the cover. He's not even in this, so. But anyway, I just thought they would be cool. And this was another one that was pretty solid issue. Not bad. And this was a pain in the butt to actually track down, believe it or not. I mean, you would think this would be one of the easier ones, but lo and behold, it was a hard one to track down. And the next one, I think you might be able to guess if I, well, play my little song. You should be able to guess this. Yep, that's right, folks. That's right, folks. It's Heathcliff. Heathcliff was is another one that I picked up. The Marvel on Star Comics. And you can see the cover. It's just, it's just so weird that you see Heathcliff, a cartoon cat that has nothing to do with any of the Marvel Universe, just on a cover with, like, Wolverine, Colossus, Rogue, Spider-Man somewhere in there. You know, it's just pretty funny just to see that there. And, of course, it is not really a series. It's a kiddie issue where aliens try to take over the world. They mistake Heathcliff for a human. And what surprises me, though, is that he doesn't even speak in the issue. I mean, because I know in a cartoon he speaks. I was like, that's really interesting, but okay. So that's Heathcliff number 12, and the next one, let's see if I have that music on there. I do. The next one, you should be able to hopefully guess and hear the music.
Care Bears Countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Who's that coming from somewhere up in the sky?
Yep. Folks, it's Care Bears number 7. This is another one that I got, and again, it's just, something I just can't help but laugh. I mean, a Care Bear on a comic book cover, along with Wolverine, a guy with claws who actually kills people. He has done it before, trust me, folks. You know, Storm, the X-Men, all these series people and superheroes, and you have a Care Bear right next to them sharing a cover. It's just pretty funny, if you ask me. And believe it or not, folks, this was a pain in the butt to track down. I mean, my God, folks. Out of all these issues, last thing I would expect was Care Bears number 7 to be the hardest issue to track down. Unbelievable. And anyway, of course, that's Grumpy Bear. And of course, Grumpy Bear actually cheers up some depressed guy. And that's what the whole issue was about. Nice, solid issue. Good for kids. And the next one, I think you should definitely be able to pick this up. picks it up. What's the next one is after? Hopefully you can hear the song. And that's kind of self-explanatory, isn't it, folks? Muffet Babies number 10. Kermit the Frog in a top hat next to Wolverine. Nightcrawler. Again, folks, this is another one of the issues that just makes you laugh. Kermit the Frog. And of course, I used to watch Muffet Babies when I was growing up as a kid on Nickelodeon back in the day. You know, back when Nickelodeon used to show really good cartoons. I mean, I can't really think of any good ones now. Although I don't have cable, so maybe I'm missing out. But Muffet Babies number 10. And again, just like Care Bears, this was another issue that was ridiculously hard to track down. I mean, you know, you would expect these issues wouldn't be that hard to track down, the Muffet Babies and stuff, but again, surprising. Yes, it is. And of course, this is, you know, if you watch the show, it was all imagination. They took adventures in their imagination. That's what this is about. Good for kids. The next one, and I doubt I have the song for this one. Let's see. No, I do not. Next one is Transformers number 22. I don't know who that is on the cover because I never really watched Transformers at all. I mean, I never, it's just, and that's just the honest truth, folks. I never watched Transformers, like, ever. I have never watched Transformers, and so I don't know who that's on the cover. So, I mean, the issue, because I never watched Transformers, I found it confusing. And that's just probably because, again, I never watched Transformers. I'll say it again. I watched Beast Wars, which was an extension of Transformers, and Beast Wars was pretty awesome. But I don't know who's who, what's what. I know Optimus Prime, I know Megatron is, I know Starscream. I didn't watch any of the movies that Michael Bay made because Michael Bay's movies are just ugh. I mean, no substance in them whatsoever. But that's the tale for another story. And the next one, folks, Conan the Barbarian. Number 188. And again, folks, you notice the motif here, how the covers are. So I thought it'd be pretty cool just to get all these. Conan 188. This is actually a pretty solid issue. You know, Conan ends up killing a bunch of people and some guy. Well, apparently he had some guy. I don't know his name, but he ended up killing a boy that Conan really cared about. And Conan was just, you know, he was pushing his emotion aside, but he was really feeling it for the boy. And at the end of the issue, he finds the boy dead. And it was just so heartbreaking because he's just creating him in his little arms, or his muscular arms. And he ends up killing the guy who did it, but, you know, just to see Conan like that, you know, it's something you don't see very often. And Conan the King. And as we all know, a few years, Conan became a king by his own hand, if you watch the movie. Yep, Conan the King, folks. This issue, of course, right there, he has a son, actually, which I never knew. I don't really follow Conan the Barbarian that much, but Conan the King, and he's pretty much waging war and winning. That's pretty much all this issue is. Nothing memorable, anything happens, so that's this issue, and let's see if I have the other one. Yeah, I thought so. Conan the King. Next one is G.I. Joe. Folks, honestly, I never watched that growing up. I had some of the toys, you know, not the big one toys, the little tiny ones. And so I had some of the toys, but I never really watched this, at all. So, again, I don't exactly know who I know it's Cobra, but the villains, but I don't know what it is. But again, it was a solid issue. And you get a nice battle, some gunfire, someone dies. A nice, solid issue if you enjoy that sort of, you know, comic, like G.I. Joe. Kind of, you know, classic. Next one is Alpha Flight. Number 40. Again, some dude with glasses, or chick, or girl. I don't know, and I like the cover, how, you know, you could kind of see the reflection of the other people if you can see closer. You kind of see the reflection right there. And anyway, this issue, I think it's a continuation of the what's that continuation? Avengers Under Siege story arc, at least the Submariner part. Cause I had that, and this kind of tied into it, which is nice. A happy coincidence, I would say. And so pretty much, Submarina falls in love with some girl who's from a different planet, and you know she's fighting, I guess, what's genetically programmed into her, fighting being, I guess, evil and reproducing a bunch of evil children, and she successfully manages to do that. And Submarina and I think it was Marina, I can't remember her name. She was green, and she dated Submarina, and he and Namor actually abandoned a drone for her. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work out because she's not here with him today. And next one, Avengers 273. And this, I like the cover of this actually. The Black Knight's pretty solid. And of course, this is a story arc to the Under Siege. And if you haven't read Avengers Under Siege, I would highly recommend it. It was a very solid issue. The Masters of Evil's return with the new Baron Demo and stuff. And it's, again, the way you say Under Siege, that's what it is. They lay siege to the Avengers. They take out Hercules. They capture Captain America. They take out Miss Marvel. And then I remember an issue that what was left was Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp, and Ant-Man, and they take out two of the strongest members. So it was a pretty solid issue. Again, this is just continuing Under Siege story arc. And the next one, Cloak and Dagger. And man, Cloak, creepy. But of course, that's Cloak and Dagger number 9. And this issue, where do I put this? It's like Cloak and Dagger, not Dazzler. Thank God, I hate Dazzler. But Dagger, and so anyway, Dagger kind of wants to be in a circus. She doesn't want to fight crime or do anything, but Cloak does. You know, and I never was too familiar, but apparently they got their powers by accident, and you know they were almost essentially forced to get these powers. And Cloak is completely dependent on Dagger for her light and to kind of quench his darkness. And of course, Cloak wants to fight drug dealers, and they end up doing it in the end. And Dagger finally realizes that yeah, I have no choice. Let me go with him, and that's how the issue ends. Not bad at all. Of course, another one with Ewoks number 10. Another one that was unusually hard to find. Not as hard as Muppet Babies number 10 and Care Bears number 7. But still, it was hard to find too. I mean, what the hell? I can't believe these are the hardest ones to find. And with Ewoks number 10, and this is a Star Wars extension of it. And, you know, this kind of just the droids, pretty much. No, you don't see Luke Skywalker or anything. It's for kids, and it's just draws R3PO and R2-D2 with the Ewoks. Nothing incredibly major. And of course, the next one, and the next few ones, because I'm not playing this song again, I think you could kind of guess what this is gonna be. Come on, folks, we all know this.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man. Now, I sincerely hope you can hear the music that I'm playing, folks. I had trouble getting it, so if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But Amazing Spider-Man 282, and I like the cover of this. I mean, I like the fact that he's upside down. I like the fact that he's like appears in a non-threatening fashion, and I like the fact that he's in a black suit. And of course, this is him meeting X-Factor for like the first time. And it does not go well because Spider-Man is, you know, he kind of got totally drowned the night before, so he's feeling really bad. And, you know, he goes against X-Factor. And this was X-Factor was posing as people to capture mutants. They were allegedly capturing and hunting mutants when instead they were actually training them. And so that was the original team. That was the original premise to it. And, of course, you know, they fight for a little bit. Spider-Man doesn't win. He actually passes out, but he passes out trying to save Marvel Girl, aka a resurrected Jean Grey, who is kind of 10 issues in, I believe, actually, at this point. And they decide to let him go. You know, he tried to save her. He's not a bad guy. And J. Jonah Jameson gets pretty pissed and tries to run a smear campaign. But then, you know, Robertson, can't remember his name. Bobby Rob? Yeah, I know it's something like that. But yeah, he stands up to J. Jonah Jameson, and then they patch things up. Not a bad issue. It has no lingering effects or anything. It's just kind of like a one-shot story, you would say. So that's that one. And then, of course, we have my classic X-Men number 3 with Storm on the cover. Again, the cover is not bad, not great, not bad, but Anyway, this is kind of classic X-Men just retells classic, the older Uncanny X-Men. Like, you can see that Wolverine one over there. Probably, well, it doesn't tell that because it was too around that time. But this is the death of how Thunderbird died. Or was it No, yeah, it was Thunderbird. Because Warpath is Thunderbird's brother. So it's tells the tale of that. And Thunderbird was, well, he was kind of a moron. Let me put it that way. I mean, he was like a guy who, apparently he was a moron because he apparently had like a chip on his shoulder. Like, he felt like he had something to prove. And, he was kind of competing with Wolverine because Wolverine was really the best. And, he just had this chip on his shoulder like he had something to prove. And that ended up costing him in the end, and he ended up dying. Unfortunate, but, I just feel like they made the character so he could kill him off, Of course, this one, my Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, which is actually a pretty funny read. Of course, it makes fun of all the Marvel Universe, especially Spider-Man. You have the Kingpin made fun of the gigantic pig, appropriately. It's just a really solid, fun issue. And I like the cover, too. I mean, just look at that. Thumbs up. It's very optimistic, you can say, and it's just a fun issue to read. I enjoyed it. I got a kick out of it. Of course, we have Daredevil, number 236. And I love the cover that it is. I mean, folks, just look at that. I mean, I like how the background's black. I like the shading on his color and his costume, his mask, the red. Everything just works. And the issue was pretty solid. I mean, it co-stars Black Widow. You know what I mean? And they had to pretty much, they kind of had to stop this army guy from going nuts and killing everyone. Sorry, folks, I found a Cheeto on the floor, so I'm eating that. Yes, I know, that's a little disgusting, but come on. It's my room. I don't know what I done with it. Anyway, and it was a pretty solid issue. Black Widow kind of tricks Daredevil and likewise, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. Definitely worth checking out, Daredevil 236. Next one was Fantastic Four, number 296. And this is a massively gigantic Fantastic Four issue. And of course, you would since it's, it's the Marvel 25th anniversary, you would expect it to be a gigantic Fantastic Four, because Fantastic Four was pretty much like the flagship title for Marvel back in the day. It was, Fantastic Four, and then second, I think, was Spider-Man. So this was one of the flagships back in the day, so that's why it would make sense for it to be bigger than all the rest of them. And of course, this is the thing. He relocates to Monster Island. He befriends the, I want to say Mo-Man. I don't know if that's right. And he does the usual, gloomy routine. Oh, I'm a monster, and, he wants to stay away from the Fantastic Four. And little did I know that the Human Torch is dating his ex-girlfriend, Alicia, and then Alicia explains that she left him because, he was so busy moping around, being miserable, that, he really never took care of her. He didn't, not that he didn't take care of her, but he never said, oh, how your problem's doing, or, and Human Torch did that. And, you get some good back and forth, and of course, he ends up rejoining the Fantastic Four, of course. But in the end, we find out the Mo-Man is incredibly insane. And if you read through this, you'll see why. And of course, the next one, The Incredible Hulk, number 325. Another great cover. I don't like it, the Hulk's face is just really creepy. It just looks really disproportionate, but I suppose that's appropriate. And this one, it's kind of the one where, they think they cured Bruce Banner of being a Hulk. But they think they cured him, so they kind of keep him from observation. And there's things that happen in the issue that looks like he's turning into the Hulk, like he's on the cell, he escaped, or there's punching. But it turns out that someone else is actually the Hulk. And I'll spoil this for you. This is around the time that Rick Jones became the Incredible Hulk, the Green Hulk, and that Bruce Banner was starting to turn more into the Gray Hulk during nighttime, and especially during the full moon. So that's kind of what this issue is about. It's pretty solid. The Sensational Marvel Tales featuring the Sensational Spider-Man, just a reprint of some Spider-Man story. The issue is not bad. I just don't like the way that Spider-Man's mask is drawn. I mean, it just looks really weird. I think the eyes are really disproportionate. You know, it looks like he's wearing mascara, to be quite honest. Or is it eyeliner? Well, I don't know. If any women watch my video, let me know that with this thing you put on your eyes, mascara, eyeliner, because I don't know the difference. I'm a guy. Come on. But yeah, this kind of retells some super team up with him and the Wasp and Yellow Jacket and Hank Pym, pretty much. And this issue was nothing great happens. I mean, it's just an issue, just a story, whatever. And of course, we got Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 120. And of course, folks, I like the cover. I like the fact that he had half of Spider-Man and half of Peter Parker's face. And of course, this one is about rent control. The rent. Pretty much, you know how landlords are raising up the rent, and that's still an issue to this day, folks. But you know how they're kind of intimidating the other people to leave, and that's what this issue is about. Nothing major, kind of like a one-shot story too, but it was pretty solid in my opinion. So, Peter Parker, Spider-Man 120, New Mutants 45, and this is what I call a very special issue. You know, back in the 80s, I used to make those very special episodes and TV shows like Family Ties, Alex P. Keating, Hooked on Speed. You know, and what else were there? Different Strokes with Dana Plato with anorexic, the guy from the bike shop trying to molest Dudley. You know, this is one of those typical special issues for the 80s, but it's done very well. and you know what I like about it is that this issue, it can apply to today. You know, it's about a kid who's a mutant, and he's ashamed of it because he doesn't know what's going on. And of course, you know, that's Ileana on the cover, by the way. But yeah, he doesn't know what's going on, and you know, he's getting bullied. He's actually being bullied in school. He doesn't have any friends. He's kind of an outcast, and you know, it's kind of driving him crazy. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know. And you know, Kitty Pryde makes a guest appearance, and you know, at first he's fitting in with them. They're really getting along, and then he makes a joke about mutants because again, he's just trying to fit in. You know, and he's a mutant himself, but of course, they tell him to leave, whatever. You know, they take offense to it, of course. But unfortunately, what happens is, you know, the kids keep bullying him some more, and they say, okay, we're going to send S-Factor after you. And unfortunately, the kid who hit the mutant, he killed himself. I mean, it was very unfortunate. I mean, he killed himself, and it's like, that's why I said it applies today, because, you know, you hear the story about kids, you know, bullying other kids, and some kids taking their own life because of that, because, you know, they don't have any friends, because they're getting bullied, and that's why I say this issue is very, very good. It applies to this day, you know, because you still hear that on the news from time to time. It's just a very sad, tragic issue, you know. So, that was New Mutants number 45. Again, Web of Spider-Man number 20. And no, you know, I like it. It's kind of like the bat signal on this, so I kind of like this cover. Yeah, nothing major happens. The fact that I'm trying to remember the story and I'm having trouble remembering. Oh, now I remember. This is when you go to, I think it was Russia or Soviet Union at this time, or some other country to stop some illegal stuff. Here with Spider-Man, Peter Parker does this for a reporting, just as Spider-Man. Nothing major happens. So, number 20. And we have West Coast Avengers, number 14. And I swear, this is one of the creepiest covers that I've ever seen. Hawkeye, I mean, my God, who knew Hawkeye would be such a creep? I mean, he's just so creepy, folks. I mean, look at that. He's winking at you, first of all. You know, it just looks so creepy. He's winking at you. It's like, ugh. And then you see his teeth, and his teeth are the way they're drawn. If you look, just the way I see it, the way they're drawn, it's just, ugh. It's kind of one of those, you know, it's kind of like a creep. If you're, I guess, a woman or something, it's like, I guess, would be like that creepy guy who's trying to hit on you at a bar. You know, it's like, ugh, you know. Ugh. So, yeah, I don't like the covers. Ugh. But anyway, the issue is about Tigra. You know, Tigra is fighting, you know, she's fighting her feline instinct because she's Tigra. And she's deciding whether or not she wants to be the being Tigra. That's what the issue is about. Next issue, X Factor. Oh no, my rest of my issues. Number 10. With Cyclops on the cover. Again, I'm no fan of Cyclops. Everybody knows it. I don't think I need to broadcast it anymore, but you know, just look at that face he's making. He's making that sullen, moody face. Like, why me? But of course, if you read the issue and you read some of the extracted issues before that, it's because Madeline Pryor left him. Well, of course she left him because he left him. Jean Gary kind of left. He just went up and left. He didn't even give her the time of day. He didn't say anything. So that was really kind of a dirtbag move to do. And then he hasn't told. I think this is right around the time he finally told Jean Grey that he has a wife, the newly resurrected Jean Grey, by the way. He finally tells her. You know, and of course, you know, he's like, oh, I'm afraid to lose her. I lost Madeline Pryor, and, you know, again, it was a mess that he created, of course. And then he's also moody because Angel and Jean Grey are getting close, and, yeah, and this is, of course, tied into Mutant Massacre, by the way. Chapter number 10, Thor, number 373, and again, another one. I don't like the beard. I mean, I don't like the beard on Thor. Of course, you know, I like the way they make his chest, like he's a god, and that's the way he should look, you know, his chest bulging out, but I do not like the beard. It just looks really dumb, in my opinion, I guess. You know, but again, this issue ties into Mutant Massacre, of course, and he's just telling a story of how he can't find his father, and, you know, he's back on Earth and stuff like that. And he actually saves our Angel, because Angel was... This is around the time Angel had his wings impaled during the Mutant Massacre story arc, and he was impaled, and he kind of rescues him. And of course, we all know that he loses it. He loses his wings. The next one, Captain America. And I gotta say, I love this cover. I mean, this is the way Captain America should look, you know? You know, he's like, you know, it looks like he stands for something. Like, you know, he stands for something. He's like, don't worry, it looks like one of those things like, don't worry, everything's gonna be okay. You know, one of these type of issues. The American flag, the blue, it just works, you know? It's a great issue. It's a great cover. And this issue is right around the time he stopped being Captain America. He stepped away from it, and then, of course, John Walker, who took over the mantle as Captain America and then U.S. agent. You know, he's doing a smear campaign against Captain America and to be the new one and to take the place of the national hero. There's a lot of... It ties into that story arc. And, of course, the last and definitely not least, and I think hopefully you'll be able to figure this out because I'm pretty sure I have the final song. Hopefully you can hear it. Yep, folks, you guessed it. Uncanny X-Men number 211. Again, great cover. Wolverine on a cover, you know, battle suit torn, and the matches it because this is the Mutant Massacre story arc. And yeah, like I said, it's a Mutant Massacre story arc, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but of course, that one in the corner that you see in the left-hand corner, I'm guessing, is what's going to show up in the video. That also ties into Mutant Massacre. So this is 11. That's like part 3 of it. And yep, so pretty solid issue. And that was my haul. I already had this on Kenny X-Men, by the way, just letting people know that. But that was my haul. A really massive stack. I mean, as a matter of fact, I can show the massive stack that I had. I mean, this is the massive haul that I had right here. Look at that. I should really do more videos before I get this big. But I didn't want to do it incomplete. And so, folks, thanks for watching. Apologies for the long video. And see you later. Alligator, I guess.